In this episode of Frame by Frame, we're going to be going over the perks of being a wallflower, a short synopsis of the movie, overall rating of it, and deleted scenes. Welcome back to another episode of Frame by Frame, the show where my friend gives me a movie, I watch it, and then we talk about it. But first, who am I here with?
I'm Noah Muller. I'm a junior, and the movie we're going to be reviewing today is Perks of Being a Wallflower.
So we follow a high school freshman named Charlie as he shares his experiences with his new senior friends while he's lying in a hospital bed. He writes letters to his friend who passed away a year before, and he discusses how his trauma continues to affect him, though he's recovering, and how he copes with it. He also reflects on his activities and enjoys with new friends, such as partying and going out for drives. So, Noah, overall, what did you get out of this movie? Like, how did you feel about it?
I thought it very greatly represented, how teenagers are today. There are a whole lot of mental problems out there, not even just for teenagers, but for everybody. And it really just shows the way he has to work through them and the way it affects him day by day. I also thought it was a great story of his past struggles not affecting who he becomes friends with as he makes a bunch of new senior friends, as you said. And I really just thought it was a great movie and a great representation of what mental health can be like today.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it's relatable in a lot of ways, like you said. And something I find really interesting is that this movie, or the book, was originally written in 1999. So about 26 years later, this is still really relatable to us. And the movie came out in 2012, but it still feels like an older movie with like the way it feels, the way they filmed it, a lot of stuff like that. And I feel like it gives off a sense of not really nostalgia, but looking back, and I really like that about a movie.
Definitely. It definitely has a different feel from like modern day movies in the terms that of what it talks about and just how well it's written, especially, as you said, 26 years later, everyone's still talking about it. It's still like a common like household name of a movie.
Yeah, of course. And another thing that I really like about this movie is that the friend group that Charlie's a part of, it's very diverse. Not necessarily ethnicity-wise, but more so like their interests. Like they have a lot of people that are into different types of music, a whole lot of things. Some are really smart, some are more into poetry, that type of stuff. And it's really cool because you don't see that type of diversity in a lot of different movies. You usually just see, one group of friends all have that same interest. But no, thing with different friend groups, they all have different interests, which makes a conversation a lot more interesting, so to say.
It's definitely different in the sense that it shows, like you said, how everyone's kind of different and how, like, as we go on in life, things change us. We gain new hobbies, develop different interests, and that's okay. People can still interact with different interests, and yeah, it makes for more interesting conversations. It wasn't it wasn't like Charlie's first group of friends that he had, but it's definitely an interesting group. I'll say that.
Yeah, 100%. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the ending of the movie and our overall rating over it, plus going over the opening scene that got deleted. Welcome back to Frame by Frame. Now let's go over our rating and the deleted scenes. So, Noah, overall, what was your rating of the movie?
Are we going on a 10 or out of 5 here?
You can go on a 10. I'll be going on a 5. Or
Okay.
Other way around. Sorry about that.
All right, cool. I will give this a 4.5 stars. I think this is a movie that everybody should be watching during, those teenage years. It's really just such a great movie to reflect upon on, again, like I said earlier, how mental health works as you grow older and as you grow up and become yourself, almost in a way.
Oh, 100%. Personally, I would give this movie a little bit lower. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 or 4 out of 5 stars. Overall, it's a really good movie. But for someone who isn't going through that type of stuff, someone who's looking for like action-packed, lots of fun movie, this isn't necessarily the movie for them. This is a much slower-paced movie, no real action, but overall it does have a message that really hits close to home for a certain amount of people.
100%. And it's definitely, at this point in the world, a common amount of people. A whole lot of people.
So, Noah, do you know about the deleted scene?
I do not. Explain it to me.
So, I don't know why they removed it, but the opening scene, we see through Charlie's eyes. First time we see through them the entire time. Everything else is like a retelling, but this is the first time we are Charlie. And we see him lying in a hospital bed, and his family decides to, bring him a typewriter so he can write to his friend, same friend that passed away the past year. But it's really so he can get all his emotions out because he doesn't know how to talk about his stuff like a lot of kids now. But I mean, overall, it's really interesting because this is the only time where we can get like real, not evidence, but like a real see through his eyes, and there's no bias, no nothing. Everything is exactly how it is.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely sounds like a great scene. Something I don't know why they didn't include in the movie, and it definitely shows a lot about what this movie is going to become. It's kind of like a foreshadowing. And again, because his parents, the effort they made to give him a typewriter because he couldn't get his emotions out. I mean, that's also a big thing to show his parents' effort toward his mental health.
Yeah, and like it really shows that they care. They're trying to help him through this, and overall, they're really supportive. They know what he's going through because he still blames himself for his aunt's death, which that's a whole can of worms that I don't think we're going to open up. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode. In the next one, I'll be here talking with my friend JJ about his movie recommendation.